Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Play Dark Souls 3 here at Splat Panda. I'm Matt here with Zippy D Doo. And yes, we're back at the High Wall of Lothric. Only briefly, don't worry. Not to slay the dragon yet, don't get excited. But, to get that bow and arrow I promised in the last episode, I realized I forgot to run over this way to pick it up from the High Wall of Lothric. It's right over there on the other tower. This is the first bonfire. If any of you are looking for it, this is how you get to the longbow. You just have to run this gauntlet here. Oh, shit. Oh, Zippy, come on, man. Get it together. You obviously want to kill this hollow here. It's going to try to snipe you down as you're running across. You got plenty of other enemies you're going to have to worry about as you make the run. But that's what we're here for, you know? To take out the hollows, make our life easier on us. Hey. Oh. I did not expect a dog from behind. I didn't, guys. Come on. You know how I feel about dogs. This isn't helping. We're gonna pretend none of this ever happened. That dog's dead. Next. Why does this dog get to have some hair still? You take that to the face. You take that to the face. Now let's refocus. You're in trouble, Axeman. Come on. Zippy might be a little cold, a little out of practice, but it doesn't mean he's going to let you get away with murder here. Put that halberd down. Give it to me. Look at that thing. Where'd it go? What'd you do with your halberd? I've never noticed the weapon just disappears. I guess so you don't get envy. They're not like, yes, you can't have this yet. Halberd was the my weapon of choice for my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1. I'm sure not just me. So that was another one of those magic fellas. I wasn't trying to fuck with that. I've heard if you actually just fight them, you will get an ember out of it. To me, it's not worth it. I'm sure there'll be some point where I need embers, and I'm going to regret having said that. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to get to my bow and get back to the undead settlement with my friends. Also, guys, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. So there's our longbow and our standard arrows. That helps us out a little bit. Over here, make sure there's no items, and we're good to go. So I would homeward bone, but I don't want to waste them. We've cleared the path back anyway. So guys, I'll just see you back in Firelink Shrine. How's that? We'll do a little bit of housekeeping there. So I've already given the shard to Andre, so that's already been taken care of. However, if you remember, in the last episode we picked up Loretta's bone, which is what Grey Rat was interested in. He wanted us to find her and give her the blue tearstone ring, which, did we read the lore on that at the time? If not, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Hello? Hello! Rings. Is rings a category? There they go. A ring set with a large, rare tearstone jewel temporarily boosts damage absorption when HP is low. This stone is said to be a tear of sorrow of the goddess of Kaitha? And of course, tears are always more beautiful near death. We also got this life ring. It's a generous old ring set with a small red jewel. Raises maximum HP. It's what we started with, by the way. Rings have unique powers, and their discovery will do much to ease the wearisome journey. So I guess I really might as well wear the blue tearstone ring. It might have made that fight a little bit easier when we were battling the invader. We also got the Ring of Sacrifice, which is our first mention of the goddess of sin, Velka. This mystical ring was created in the sacrificial rite of Velka, the goddess of sin. Its wearer will lose nothing upon death, but the ring itself breaks. The sacrifice is only worth as much as the life it spares. So for those of you new to the game, it just protects your souls. If you die, you actually don't lose them. The ring will break. You can only use it once, but if you're ever running around after a boss fight and you don't see a bonfire, you can throw that bad boy on, and you'll be able to keep your souls. Before we give him Loretta's bone, we should probably read the lore here as well. It's an old discolored human bone with several holes bored into it. A woman's corpse in an undead settlement was found clutching this bone. Her name was Loretta. So weirdly, it's not her. She was clutching the bone. I find that interesting. We don't know necessarily whose it is. We have a lot of items, actually. Why don't we go ahead and just go on a little reading spree here. Let's start with the Estus flask. The undead treasure, these dull green flasks. Fill it with Estus at bonfires and drink to restore HP. The journey of an undead has always been traced to bonfires, and no journey of import has been made without an Estus flask. But new to this game is the Ashen Estus flask, so this one has a little bit of different lore, obviously. Undead treasure, these dull Ashen Estus flasks, blah, 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 blah. This one restores FP, quite befitting of an unkindled as Ashen Estus Flask turns bonfire's heat cold. Then we have Embers, also new to this game. No unkindled can ever truly claim that the embers burn within a champion's bosom, which is precisely what makes their yearning for warmth so keen. Gain the strength of flame and increase maximum HP until death. With the strength of fire, the summoning signs of the unkindled become visible, and seekers of embers can be summoned to join in cooperation. But beware, the embers may also attract invaders. So that's essentially humanity in this game. Green Blossom basically lets you restore your stamina. The Undead Legion of Farron are remembered for using this annual plant, normally found near clear water, so swing their mighty swords. Swing their mighty swords with abandon. Again, because your HP will, or your stamina will regenerate extremely quickly. We also picked up, charcoal pine resin. We'll get to that in a second. Repair powder is a lightly enchanted golden powder. It repairs equipped weapons and armor as long as they haven't already broken. Use of a weapon depletes its durability, eventually causing it to break. As long as a weapon is not broken, its durability can be restored at a bonfire, but for distant journeys, one may wish to prepare ahead. So, reparations in this game aren't nearly as important as they used to be, because it's only from one bonfire to the next. Every time you sit, it recharges. Unlike Dark Souls 1, which it was constant, and you need to repair either at a blacksmith or with a repair box. Throwing knives, this one doesn't really have much lore to it. Same here. Same here. Using the undead settlement to preserve undead bodies after dissection and to bury them. That's what charcoal pine resin's for. This is a shorter one, the bundle. It doesn't last for long, but can be used in inventive ways, such as applying it in the middle of a series of blows. And then the gold pine resin temporarily applies lightning to the right-hand weapon. Its origins are unknown, although some have speculated that it may in fact be a type of fungal resin. Let's see about the dark sign. The dark sign is the sign of an accursed undead. The dark sign returns its bearer to the last bonfire rested at, or the bonfire at Firelink Shrine, but at the cost of all souls held. Carriers of the dark sign are reborn after death, and eventually lose their minds, turning hollow. And so it is that they are driven from their homelands. The alluring skull lasts one throat to shatter, spreading souls which attract enemies. It's a skull resplendent in the scent of souls, prepared by evangelists of the Cathedral of the Deep. So I think we've covered a lot of our lore, but we did not read the Soul of the Boreal Valley Vort. Soul of Vort of the Boreal Valley, one of the twisted souls steeped in strength, used to acquire many souls or transposed to extract its true strength. Vort served as an outrider knight, never far from the fleeting dancer, who we'll learn more about, and truly he is not far from the fleeting dancer. But let's see what Grey Rat has to say about it.
Oh, hello, you're back. And in one piece. Well, now it's time I do my part. Whatever trinket you need, speak up. Just don't ask me where I got them.
Aha! I hear you, Grey. Alright, we're gonna talk and then we'll give him the bone.
Do me a favor and don't forget our promise. Give this ring to old Loretta at the base of the high wall. A nuisance, I know, but it will help me tie up some loose ends.
Oh, buddy. We're gonna do it.
Heavens, she was already dead. Thank you. I'm not surprised, though. Almost a relief, really. You can keep the ring as, well, a little trinket of thanks, I suppose.
You can tell he's bummed out.
You can keep the ring as...
I'll buy a few arrows from him with the souls I have here. Fire arrows, huh? It's kind of sweet. So let's see. They do 20 less physical, but 40 more fire, putting them higher. But for the price, I'll probably just go ahead and I'm going to empty out and buy a bunch of those.
Goodbye.
But we also have somebody new down here in Firelink Shrine. Our buddy Yoel has moved here. We're going to go for a specific finish. I'm not sure what all pieces we need to do, but I know one of them.
Our champion of Ash, welcome home. This pilgrim, with a debt in death, hardly deserves to behold this divine
Zippy's
flame.
dancing.
And I never would have, had you not taken me into your service. I thank you dearly for this, and assure you of my leal service.
He doesn't seem particularly...
As I have said, I was once a sorcerer. Alas, the magic of Londor is a far cry from the wonders of Vinheim. But I can teach you what I know. Perhaps, more importantly, I believe that I can help tease out your true strength. We pilgrims of Londor are keenly aware that those branded by the dark sign possess something quite special.
Ah, gesture.
As I have said, alas, the magic...
All right.
Those...
Draw it out,
shall
baby.
we begin? Bearer of the dark sign, let your true strength shine.
God, he's creepy, but I like him. Okay. I get one here. We'll go with our vigor, just to make sure things are staying pretty balanced. Vit helps our equipment burden, but yeah, I think vigor is the way to go for now.
As I have said,
Okay, nothing new. Got it, Yol.
Be
Bye.
safe, champion of Ash.
I'll be as safe as I can be, trying to die 1,000 times. Thank you, Yol. And we'll come back. So the more you die, the more you're able to draw your true strength from him. And if you believe, you have to draw it out 4 or 5 times in order to secure a specific ending that I'm hoping we'll be able to gather here. What do you have to say?
Ooh, yet to give in, eh? Good. The Firekeeper must be twitching with delight. But what do you really know about these Lords of Cinder? These supposed legends? Let's take Aldrich, for one. A right and proper cleric. Only he developed a habit of devouring men. He ate so many that he bloated like a drowned pig, then softened into sludge. So they stuck him in the Cathedral of the Deep, and they made him a Lord of Cinder, not for virtue, but for might. Such as a lord, I suppose.
Alright, well, thanks, buddy. This guy, such a G.
Unkindled, are we? And fast on the trail of the Lords absconded? Then these red eyes are for you. Use them to pillage embers and briefly heighten your strength for your duty. What else are unkindled ashes good for? Pillage embers for briefly heightened strength for your duty. What else are unkindled?
Alright. Proceed onward. You'll notice we see someone sitting here in one of the thrones of the Lords of Cinder, which seems counter to what we thought our mission was. Look at him. Look at that little dude. Oh. Let's see what he's got to say.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred corpse. This sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look.
I can see you, man.
Listen, this might pique thine interest. Before I was a Lord of Cinder, I was a student of transposition, the process of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. A forbidden art that once left a foul stain upon Corlin's honor. 'Tis an art that grants powers once thought unattainable. Most transposing kilns were lost with Corland, but this place is a crossing for all manner of cursed objects. If thou happenst upon a transposing kiln, bring it to me. Quick. Listen.
Alright, we got it. So basically he's telling us if we can find the transposing kiln, he can turn boss souls into boss weapons for us. And that's just what we might get. Probably not in this episode, but probably in the next. Do we have an undead bone chart? Nope. But we'll get one. But we're going to go ahead and get that item here in the next episode or two. Bring that back to him, and then we'll start be able to get boss weapons out of the souls, like the one we got from Bort. Or Vort of the Boreal Valley. Not Bort of the Boreal Valley. Valley Fitness. God damn it. Words are hard, you know? So we're here. Our goal is to open that door right there. But first, we've got to make it through a little series of challenges. Get out. Damn. Weapon queuing. Phew. I mean, attack queues. Got me on that one, and then I just committed. We could really use an undead bone shard to power up our flasks, eh? Also, next time I get over 20,000 souls, we should probably go ahead and open the tower there in Firelink Shrine. There's some items for us to get. This poor dude. So you'll see this area can get a little bit rough. Not something I'm prepared to fuck with just yet. Oh, he got me. You even notice the weapons that they use are similar to the ones that the Witch of Hemwick uses. Well, the attackers, her henchmen, if you will. Alright, so let's take a sip ski. And see if we can't clear across here, not die. I don't know, can you actually see from here where the attacks are coming from? I'll give you a spoiler alert. They're coming from over yonder. And it's something that we might be able to fix. So we got a great scythe. I don't believe there's any lore to it, but you know that we're going to check. You know we're going to check. We already got the halberd, didn't we? I was joking about that, but... Where... Got it. The magnificent sharp curved blade instills fear in opponents. Perhaps it is the survival instinct at work. So no. No lore there. But we're going to proceed up here. Our boss fight's actually right here on the left if we wanted to go with that immediately. If not sooner. However, we don't. We actually want to go back to the main part. You would proceed through here to fight the cursed Greatwood, which is right there. Not happening. We're in shortcut mode, kids. Alrighty. So we got a few options here. But I believe I want to go up here to the right first to deal with that. Although that shortcut is tempting to go ahead and try to open. And if the witch and her friends have already gone by, we shouldn't have as much trouble as we could otherwise. So let's go ahead with that. Hey. Alright, we'll drink up. And now we'll fight the rats. I don't know why I did the charge R2 there. The first time I played Dark Souls 3, before you understood that there was a certain amount of charging in order to power up your R2s, I thought that that was a change they'd made for the much worse, to essentially make your powered attacks take a lot longer, which seemed a little bit too punishing. And I'm glad that that was not the case, but I do like having the option. So obviously, if you're a strength build and you have particularly open attacks on maybe bosses or something like that, where you want to get, come on guys, as much damage done as possible during the open windows that you have, and you know you have enough time to add a little extra juice, it's not a bad idea to just charge it up and then land your hits. So I like that they afford you that choice. So we'll go ahead and open this shortcut. I'm going to rest the bonfire and come back through here. Is that a crystal lizard? What? How'd I miss you, bro? Damn. I'd have to come at it from the other way, which maybe we'll do, depending how we want to approach this next area. So we're going to run back through here, and then go up the stairwell that I wanted to deal with back at the beginning. In fact, maybe we'll warp and just deal with it from the top. We've got enough arrows and things anyway, I think, to do what I want to do here. Travel. Let's just go to the Undead Settlement bonfire and fight our way back to the little crossroads up here. There's quite a few NPCs and sort of interesting lore discoveries we're probably going to make in this episode. I only have a few minutes left here, though, but I want to make sure that happens because we did a lot of lore in the beginning, so this one will probably be slightly longer than some of the other episodes we've done, since I'll probably go ahead and give you guys the opportunity to skip ahead, just because if you've already played, you probably don't care about a lot of that stuff at Firelink. But the goal of this playthrough for me was to make sure we cover as much as we possibly can in as much detail as we can. Stop. Come on, man. We got things to do here. Alright. Alright, having 6 Estus is definitely nice. So we could go that way, and I think that's what we're going to do. Deal with that set of NPCs and stuff first. Although there are some ranged enemies over here that can make things a little annoying. Thank you. Give me that. Oh, a worker hat, eh? That's going to be tough to resist. Before we roll around over there to the right, I'm going to go ahead and open this door. I've made that mistake before in a playthrough where I looped back around and thought I just was going to have no problem connecting the two areas, and there shouldn't have been any reason. Why did that come through my shield? Maybe the way he swung it? No. Thank you. God, my Estus really doesn't do much, does it? Come on down. That sword is too big for you, buddy. I'm all for you trying to make your dreams come true, but you're not ready. I always thought because that weapon stood out so much with him, they should have made it a drop. Just because it's so obviously there. Just maybe just some kind of long sword, short sword, whatever, you know, he's supposed to be holding. It's notably large, and you'd think that they'd make it something he could maybe drop. Alright. So, to actually proceed, we actually have to roll around here to the side. I was worried I'd double tapped. We're going to keep our shield up, because fuck this part. Nope. No. No. Nope. See, it's very easy to get stun locked in here because of the way that the blow darts can get to you. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Alright, so now what we're going to do is fucking run back, because... Oh, shit. I accidentally jumped, in case you missed it. Because you can get stun locked by all those different darts and stuff. So I'll cut you back in right there. I don't think there were many souls here. So what I want to do is lure and then run. God, that jump. They're like homing missiles. Oh, you stop, you bastard. Right in the face. It's a lot of damage on those, isn't it? Alright. I'm going for the one that I don't need to climb a ladder to kill. Stop. Now for you, and you know it's coming. You can feel it, buddy. Okay. So, now that we've conquered that, at least partially, at least to the extent that I want to right now. So there's a couple things we actually need to do. One, we need to get this item. And there's an NPC we can talk to here on the back side of the house. We open the door, so actually looping back around is not so bad. So I think I am going to do this first, because he's sort of our hint at the other. So let's go ahead and deal with this first. Oh my god. See, so he's supposed to make you want to attack him, and then you should, and then he would actually turn hostile. But then you realize you can talk to him. They're kind of playing with the conventions of you being scared by them in the early phase, wanting to just hack and swing, and then end up murdering an NPC. That actually can give you some useful information.
Another Nana disappeared. Sir Granton carries a cage. He ever has his cage. And Nana's never coming back. So come into the cage and become Nana's shade.
So there's a little hint there.
Another Nana disappeared. And Nana's never come. So come into the cage and become Nana's shade.
So I don't know if Nana is the carrier of the cage, or is one of his people, or what, but he tells you to step into the cage. And the way that they actually teach you that that NPC right there is non-hostile is also sort of a hint that you can use later in another way, which is to come over here. You see that giant executioner walking around, which you've seen 1,000 of, and you know that they'll murder the living shit out of you. So, you come around and you're geared up and we're ready to fucking kill this thing instantly, right? But then we see that he's non-hostile. Before I deal with that, though, we did get a bow, and I want to put that to use once I get my dex high enough. First, I guess we're going to use a crossbow. Just to knock this down so we can pick it up a little bit later. And then for my own sake, that's where we find our boy. Yeah, okay. That is not the fight for the Curse Rod of Greatwood. Where'd you go? So that NPC tells you to take a step into the cage, which we now see there's a cage on the back of this non-hostile NPC, and you can examine it. Quite loud. It doesn't look like the ride was good. It looks like you just threw us in the bottom. Yo. Zippy's like, oh, it hurt. That's the voice of Zippy. I just gave him a voice. I want to give him the voice of my Dishonored character. I don't know what it is that we're doing down here, but we're going to proceed. My name is Zippy. Alright, so I'm going to pick this item up before we talk to Yo Brolenstein over here. Got a War God wooden shield. Let's take a look at that. Sounds dope. Wooden shield reinforced with metal, the largest of the wooden medium shields. The bizarre pattern featured on the shield is the mark of a mad god, revered as a god of war in remote regions. I wonder if it's tied to the first son of Gwyn, because we know he is a lord of war. Oh, my bow. Or god of war, I should say. Let's take a look at this guy's outfit. He looks a little bit like Hodrick, if you'll remember.
Well, what's up? This pit is for hollows, not for the likes of you sane folk. Or perhaps you are a hollow, posing as otherwise?
Indeed.
Yes, then we are just fine. It's important to know who you are. But we'll all be mad soon enough. And should you be undead, well, all the more so. Beware, the shackles of the gods are fragile. You might need this. Etch it on your heart if you feel your sanity slipping. Come here to pile up your victims, for that will form your anchor. You'll see when you go mad. They'll be your family. You'll go mad one day, but not today. Take my advice. Use this bone and leave this place. This pit is for hollows, and for the occasional madman fond of piling up victims. You've better things to do, I'd hope.
It's a pretty cool space if you actually stop and look around it.
This pit is for hollow.
So he gave us a homeward bone in order to get out, but we just got an item for a covenant for the Mound Makers, the one that we saw Hodrick was a part of earlier. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Nope. Nope. Come on. There it is. We also got a vertebrae shackle earlier for killing Hodrick, which we'll get to that in just a moment. A malformed vertebrae found by the Mad, with a queer symbol on the inside, proof of the shackles of the gods. Equipped to pledge oneself to the Mound Makers' covenant. The Mound Makers wish only to add their mounds, becoming mad spirits, whether summoned as cooperators or invaders. They are blithe to those around them, for in the mines they might any kill might lead to another shackle. So there's that. In fact, that actually makes me though realize I want to put our sunlight. We're gonna rep our boy, Solaire. We'll go ahead and use our homeward bone to get on out of here. I'll get used to the menu at some point. Let's go back to the bonfire last rested at. We're just about done with the middle section of the Undead Settlement. Again, I mentioned this is going to be a little bit of a longer episode for this series, just because we did a lot of lore and little like odds and ends there in the beginning, and I didn't want to make that take up an entire episode. I wanted to make sure you get what you pay for, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to do one other little area, try to meet one other important NPC, and there's a couple important items that come along with him. And then we will proceed to wrap up the episode. Nope. Stop. So I'll cut you up there once we get back to where we're going. Come on now. Be cool. So, if you run up here, you can actually get to a bonfire. Assuming that all the thieves that you run into along the way don't fucking kill you. We can come in here and at least light it. It may be a bit of a suicide run. Oh, nope, didn't even let us light it. Because there's an enemy close. Now we should be okay to light the bonfire. Which means in turn, I fell off the cliff on the way here, by the way, so I need to go get my souls back. You all had the distinct pleasure of not having to watch that happen. No. We'll pick up this item, and then we're going to go ahead and work our way back up through the camp above us, which you saw the entryway. I just wanted to roll down here, though. So in case we die trying to work our way through the camp, we have a way up that's a little bit less resistance. Also, down here is the back way. So when we were coming up by... I'll try to connect the dots for you here real quick. We came across this graveyard here. That's where the arrows were shooting us. We went over through that house, up by, and we looked in here. That's where we saw the Curse Heart of Greatwood. We came down those steps, over around this path down below us, and into the sewer. Excuse me, the sewer, which is below us. I looked up this path and said we might want to come this way, but there's a reason we might want to come in from the opposite direction. And that was just going to be able to get to that bonfire. So, now, though, I think I just fucked myself. I had a nice path up the top, and I just gave it up. That's okay, though. We're going to go ahead and try to sneak up on this guy. At least get in a two-handed blow before he knows what's going on. And that's how we make him not a problem. He's the biggest threat in this area. That pot. We understand that you've been taking pottery classes, but look. It doesn't mean you need to take it out on me. So just to loop everything back around here. Over here is the door we open. There's a thief in here. That's the one with the big sword. We ran across the bridge, jumped down onto there, and went into the house to get the bonfire. And right here is where you'd be standing to come in and do your damage. So we don't want to end up under these guys who are just launching fireballs at us. We want to come at them from a safer angle. But first, how do we want to go about this here? Ow, stop. See, with them up here, you're kind of just stuck. Alright, we'll go down. And then back around. I shouldn't have given up my position. That's what I meant when I said when we dropped down, we gave up that we had the higher position on them, which meant that we could actually climb up and take out the fire throwers before we were worried about anything else. But now that we guarded the biggie, it's probably worth not resting at the bonfire and just going up and redoing it. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll run up along here, and then what we'll do is try to sneak attack them. Which I failed at. Give me that. Hey, don't you fall off. And then we're going to meet one of our more useful NPCs. Hanging out in a cage, of course. You'll notice it always seems that the pyromancers you find in the Dark Souls games are in tight spots, aren't they?
Aha! Unkindled, are we? Welcome to my abode. I am Cornix, an old pyromancer. A crow in his cage, as you see now. But here we are, an encounter for the ages. I hear the unkindled make for fine vessels. Care to learn some pyromancies from this old man?
Does a bear shit in the woods, Cornix?
Most wise. A chance encounter should not be squandered. To reiterate, I am Cornix of the Great Swamp.
We know that.
The pleasure is mine.
So did we just meet a man from Blighttown? Sure seems that we did. And then just a couple more items we're going to pick up, and then we're going to wrap things up here. I've already kept you beyond your time. We need to get you home in time for supper. So we'll get item number 1 right, cha. Then item number 2, back here. You can see this depressed dude just sitting at the end of his little bridge. Oh, that crystal lizard. We got to get him at some point, don't we? Hey. Oh, you're lucky. So we got our fire clutch ring. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at that. Again, why did I not put on the tearstone ring? I don't know. I might as well put on the bleed ring. I might as well put on all this until I have better shit, you know? So the fire clutch ring. It's a ring depicting a hand grasping a red stone, increases fire attack, but compromises damage absorption. So in other words, we can have stronger fire attacks if we were something like a pyromancer, but we would take more damage. It's an old fable in Londor that claims that the lure of the clutch ring reaches out to the crestfallen who might otherwise be overcome with despair. So, that's the last of the items that we're going to get, guys, for this episode. So that's where I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please hit the like button below. It was out a lot. If you want to let me know what you want to see me do next, what you want to see me wear, where you want to see me go, leave comments. We love hearing from you guys. And if you want to see more, we have new episodes every single day. So keep coming back. Hit subscribe if you want to see those. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you again next time.